What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to explain how to maintain attraction, either in a relationship, with your booty call, or really just any chick who you want to see more than once. So let's start off with the list of don'ts. These are the things that you should absolutely not do if you want to maintain attraction and keep the girl around. So the first one is, for the love of God, don't get needy. This is probably one of the most common issues that guys have. You know, they initially got the girl by being a cool, laid back, mysterious guy. And then, after a while, they just become needy. Constantly blowing up her phone like, babe, where are you? Babe, I need you. Don't do this to me. When in reality, she's just, out shopping with her girlfriend. So if you want to maintain attraction, don't get needy, because this universally turns girls off. Second one is, don't get insecure or jealous. This kind of ties into the first point to some extent, but you don't want to be the guy that just, constantly thinks that the girl is going to trade up, like, oh, this guy is better looking than me, this guy has better abs than me, this guy has a bigger dick than me, because if you're constantly putting that energy out there, you are going to influence her, and she might start thinking, you know what, maybe I am selling. Maybe there is a guy who's better than me. So don't project your insecurities on the girl. Keep that shit to yourself and possibly your dog. The third one is, don't keep trying to game her. You see this all the time in the pickup community. Guys, they just keep trying to game their booty calls, but the chick's already into you. It would be like if you go to a car dealership and you're like, all right, cool, yeah, I want to buy the car, after the car salesman does his pitch and lets you test drive the car, and then he keeps trying to sell it to you. Like, whoa, hang on, let me tell you about the features. You might even go like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't buy this car because maybe there's something wrong with it, because why is this person constantly trying to convince me to buy it when I already said I will? So it's the same kind of principle. Like, when you get a girl, after you guys hook up and, she's into you, you don't have to keep trying to play games with her or try to win her over. She's already interested. Like, you don't have to, you can just communicate to her like a normal person, the same way you would with a friend, but a friend who you want to fuck. And the last point is, don't get complacent or lazy. You see this quite often with married couple. Initially the guy was ambitious and he was good looking, then he gets married and he becomes fat and lazy. Right? You don't want to be that guy, because that will turn chicks off. She met you, you were high value, and then you progressively become lower and lower value. Imagine if a chick who you were dating became fat. That would be a turn off for you. It's the same thing with girls. Now, this doesn't go just for looks. It's also a lot about, your drive and your purpose. Like, you don't want to become the guy that just doesn't care anything, doesn't have goals. Again, girls are attracted to purpose. So you want to be the guy who constantly stays on his grind. Next, let's take a look at the do's. These are the things that you should do to maintain the attraction. So the first one is, do you have a purpose outside of your relationship, right? A girl doesn't want you to be just mainly focused on her and have nothing else going on in her life, right? That's unhealthy for you, and that's also going to turn her off. This is why you see a lot of situations where, a couple gets married and then, the girl maybe makes a little bit more than the guy, so they decide the man is going to be the stay-at-home dad and the woman's going to work. And almost always that leads to cheating and divorce, because eventually the woman loses respect for the guy. Women want a man who has a purpose in life. That could be, their business, that could be some passion, something that they're working on, whatever the fuck it is. But there should be a purpose outside of your relationship. Next big one is, do meet her needs. This means sexual and emotional. Women have a variety of needs. Like, for example, she might have a need, to get fucked well. She might have a need to be dominated. She might have a need to do this or that, whatever the fuck, Just making her come is not just, solely means you're meeting her sexual needs. Also, she wants her emotional needs met. She doesn't want to feel neglected. And what happens is, if you don't meet her needs, eventually she's going to look elsewhere to have them met. Doesn't necessarily mean she's going to cheat on you. It might start with her, getting on Pornhub or just making a bunch of friends online, but that could eventually lead there. So you do want to make sure her needs are met. You'll see a lot of red pill guys talking about how sex should be for the man, blah, 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 blah. But that, again, that kind of train of thought leads to women not having their needs met, which eventually leads to the women either cheating or just losing interest. Next is, do keep the relationship exciting, right? You don't want to be the couple that, you guys just you watch Netflix, you have sex for 10 minutes in missionary position, and then you go to sleep, right? Because that gets boring after a while. And even if you're okay with doing that indefinitely, the girl eventually will be like, okay, this is a little boring for me, and she's going to seek excitement elsewhere. That's why you want to make sure there's a lot of variety and novelty in your relationship. Like, you can try role plays, try, putting in her butt, try, having her dress up as a sexy nurse. There's a lot of things you can do. And also, not just sexually, you should also do fun activities together. Do this, do that, try this, try hobbies together. There's a lot of travel, whatever the fuck it is. There's a lot of shit that you can do, right? And you want to keep the relationship exciting. And the last big one is, do keep good and open communication. This just ends relationships like all the time. Like the guy's not communicating with the girl's not communicating with the guy. You know, slowly resentment builds and feelings build, and eventually either you or her do something that just pushes, you know, everything over the edge. It's just like a deal breaker, right? Like they cheat or they say something, blah, blah, blah. So you want to avoid that building up, right? And you do that by always addressing the elephant in the room and not being afraid to rock the boat. So for example, say you're having a dinner and something is a little bit off, right? It's easier at that point to just, you know, kind of ignore it and go about your evening, but that's not good in the long term. You want to address that shit, be like, hey, listen, like I felt something was a little off, you know, what's up? And if she doesn't want to tell you, you keep trying to figure it out. Like, no, listen, like, let's actually talk about this. Like, you know, we should not ignore this. I want us to be able to communicate. Like, really, tell me. You can tell me anything, what's up. As long as you're not judging her, you're open, you're honest, right, which is the way you want to communicate, eventually she will tell you. And you want to be able to address these things before they build up into something much worse. All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable. And the one last thing when it comes to maintaining attraction, every woman will tell you this is absolutely 100% essential, is smashing that subscribe button and clicking that bell for notification for good measure, because you do not want to miss the awesome live Q&A we have coming up this Sunday. We got RSD Alex, now known as Alex Social, coming on and sharing some wisdom with us. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below, and until next time.